Welcome back to the channel. I am so excited for this video. Over the course of 2024, I have read 18 different series. I've read at least one book in 18 different series. And now that it's 2025, it's really time for me to figure out what series do I actually want to carry over into the new year and what series am I officially ready to DNF. I've never actually kept track of series before, so this is a new thing for me, but I went through my story graph for the last year of every book that I've read, and anything that was part of a series, whether it was a full-on fantasy series or just a little romance series, I marked down with how many books are in that series. I had a pretty clear idea of which ones I wanted to continue and which ones I didn't, just considering like which ones I already enjoyed reading. So I wasn't surprised by any of my choices, but seeing them all on one spreadsheet really helped me clarify how I'm feeling about things and which ones I want to actually continue. So here we're just going to go through each of the series and see which ones I'm bringing into 2025 and which ones I very, very much enjoyed but have finished in 2024, and those that are unfortunately just staying in 2024 with no room to move back into my my good graces of being a series that I will continue reading. So we got a random order, and I'm just gonna go down the list. We have 18. We got this. We can get through this. So the first series that we're going to be discussing is the Illuminae Files. This series is unfortunately getting a DNF from me. I read the first book. I'm pretty sure I gave the first book 5 stars. I flew through it. It is a multimedia book filled with interviews and drawings and computerized images, and it's really, really cool. It has security camera footage. It has so many different elements, and I went so fast through this book. Then I started the second book, and that got a DNF from me. The story from the first, it does continue into the second book, but we're following new characters, and I honestly was just getting very confused as to who the characters were. I wasn't invested in these characters. I didn't even really like them. I just really wanted to have a continuation of the characters from the first book because I fell in love with those characters. And I don't know if it was a disappointment kind of thing or what, but I couldn't get into the rest of the series, and at this point I'm really content with how much I loved the first book and keeping it there. I don't need to continue the rest of the series to know how much I loved that first book and really enjoyed it. Series number 2. My Roommate is a Vampire. I read the first book and it was very funny. It was lighthearted. It was an easy read. It's a romance book between a vampire and a human who become roommates and then fall in love. It really has its moments where I adored the story. This series has also been DNF'd. My issue with the first book, and the reason I'm not continuing, is that it just got, how do I put this? So I understand that it was just a book with a vampire and a human. It's not supposed to be serious. I mean, I literally have Twilight right behind me. I'm fine with a vampire-human relationship. That's not supposed to be serious. The plot got way too unbelievable in the sense of things were happening and then 3 seconds later it was magically resolved. I don't like a miscommunication trope, but this truly was, oh, well, let's just go talk to him. Okay. Ding, you're freed. It was so ridiculous that I wasn't even laughing with the book anymore, but more at it. And as much as I thought different parts were funny and such, I feel like it's a one book series for me. I don't need to continue reading that banter. I didn't care enough about it to really continue it. Series number 3 is a series that I actually finished. This series is Debutantes by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have read The Inheritance Games. I am working my way through, what is it called? I'm working my way through The Naturals, which is not on this list because I actually did not read a book from that series last year. but it will be moved onto my series that I will absolutely read in 2025 list. There won't be a video for that, but it will be on this kind of video next year because I absolutely will be reading it this year. I just adore Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She is such an amazing author. Her books are so easy to fly through. Just the banter is amazing. There's humor in the right places. There's depth in the right places. I just find them so enjoyable. And no matter what the topic is, I just fly through it. This was about a group of high society girls going through their debutante years, and at the same time they're solving mysteries. You're seeing the inside of high society and them getting into different kinds of trouble, but knowing how to get out of trouble. And it's so intriguing and so interesting, and I love reading books like that where it's such a world that I am not a part of, and it's a little peek in that I get, and I absolutely love it. Amazing series. There's only 2 books in that series, but I did read both, so that series is completed. The next series is one that I have talked about before, that I will continue to talk about forever, and an author that I will continue to talk about because she is an auto-buy author for me. I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I finished the whole series, including the prequel, Killjoy, which, honestly, I would read it afterwards, after reading the main series, then read the prequel novella. It's only about 100 pages. It was so good. It follows Pip and the whole gang going to a murder mystery party, and Pip thinks it's really stupid. And you see throughout the book her falling in love with mysteries. It literally is the beginning of her personality, and it is absolutely an amazing book. Amazing. Incredible. I love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. The whole series was amazing. I have not seen the show on Netflix yet because I'm really scared that it won't live up to my expectations that I have in my head. But I adore that series. I have the special edition covers of it with sprayed edges that I absolutely love. That I showed off one of my new ones in my Waterstones book haul. I will link that up in one of these sides. And it was just phenomenal. I love that series so much. And if Holly Jackson ever wants to come out with some more books, I will very happily add that to this series. Series number 5 is The K-Team by David Rosenfeld. I am definitely continuing this series in 2025. I have talked about David Rosenfeld very often on this channel. I'm pretty sure he's almost in every video at this point, which is crazy considering I only have about 4 videos. But The K-Team is a spin-off series of the Andy Carpenter series, which is the Andy Carpenter series is about a lawyer who does not want to be a lawyer, but he keeps getting pulled into the courtroom. It's a lawyer mystery series. The K-Team follows Andy's investigative team, called the K-Team, named after their canine partner, Simon. The first book was okay. I do see where the series is going to go, but I can tell that the first book was really setting up a lot of background information and things that I've already had through the Andy Carpenter series. But if you were just a new reader to this world, you could just jump into the K-Team and don't need to have all of the knowledge from the Andy Carpenter series. So I understood why there was so much more background and introduction. But now that I'm actually in the series, I'm very excited to continue and to see how the rest of the books evolve. Series number 6 is Caraval. Now, this is a beloved series, and I am continuing it. I really enjoyed the first one. I am not sure how the series is going to continue. I only read the first one so far, and I'm very intrigued by how we're going to move forward after the first one ended. This series is extremely magical and fantastical. It follows this game, and everyone is also trying to survive at the same time, and there's a lot of different elements, and we're constantly don't know who to trust and who to trust, and it's just a really good series, and I really enjoyed the first one. There's 4 in the series. It's a trilogy plus a Christmas novella, so I definitely want to read more of that this year. I believe Legendary, which is the second book of the series, is on my 25 in 25. I will also link that video. So it's 25 books that I must read in 2025, otherwise I have to unhaul them. So I am extremely excited to read that. I know I'm at least reading that one. I don't own the third and the fourth books, but I can easily get them. So maybe that will become a binge reading series. Haven't decided yet, but it's so good, and I'm so excited to continue reading that series. Series number 7, A Throne of Glass. I am continuing this series, and I am finishing this series this year. You heard it here first. I read the first 6 within, I'll say 3 months, within September, October, and November. So I only have the very last book, which is, I can't see it from here. I only have the very last book to read. It is like 1,000 pages, which is scary, but I'm so excited, and I am definitely reading it this year. I'm definitely reading it within, I don't know, maybe February? Haven't decided. I think I'm going to do for that video a spoiler vlog of me reading it, where I just give all of my thoughts from the series as I'm reading them. I feel like the book has been out for way long enough, and I'm going to give a lot of warnings, and it's only going to be about the last book. So if you read the series, have fun listening to me rant about it. Otherwise, I'm going to have a lot more videos that are, usually my videos are spoiler free. But I feel like this is such an iconic series, and I cannot wait to just talk about it to people. So yeah, I will definitely be finishing this series in 2025. That is a promise. That is a scary promise, but that is a promise. Series number 8 is Dirty Air, and this is a Formula One series. I love Formula One. I got into it while dating my fiance. Now every Sunday we watch the races together. I follow many of the drivers on social media. My favorite driver, in case anyone asks, but really you didn't, is Charles Leclerc, because he is Leo's dad, and I also have an English cream long-haired dachshund. Leo is his English cream long-haired dachshund, and I also have one, so it feels fitting that he has to be my favorite driver because we have the same dog. Also, my favorite team is Ferrari. I have a lot of opinions on Formula One. Some of them are very controversial, so I won't get into those. And I have a lot of opinions about the drivers, so maybe one day I'll share those. It doesn't really seem smart to share those on social media, though. So, anyway, can't wait for the new season of Drive to Survive to come out, because last season of Formula One was crazy and had so much drama, and the Dirty Air series gives me the same amount of drama. And I love it. I read the first book so far. There's 4 books, and I will definitely be reading more of those this year. I think I want to read the second one when the season starts up again, because that will be like fun timing, and just read it throughout the season and just enjoy some Formula One romance. I'll enjoy it. It's gonna be good. This next one is another DNF. So series number 9 is Ready Player One. I adored the first book. I gave it 5 stars. It was incredible, amazing, absolutely perfect. I DNF'd the second book, Ready Player Two. It felt like more of a cash grab than the brilliance that Ready Player One was. I completely recommend Ready Player One. I don't know if I recommend the movie. I have not seen the movie, so I can't say that I don't recommend it, but just looking at the trailer, it doesn't really follow what I would imagine the characters to look like, or just like the whole world and everything. It doesn't fit what I imagined. It could be an amazing movie. I just wouldn't compare it with the book, to be honest. Once again, I haven't seen it, so I'm really basing this off of nothing. But I love this first book, but to me, this is more of just a one book standalone rather than a series. So the series itself is getting DNF'd. I briefly mentioned the series in passing in this video, but series number 10 is The Inheritance Games. So this series is on this list because I reread the first 2, either the first or the first 2 in 2024. I don't remember how many I reread, but I usually reread at least the first one every year. This series is not finished though, because I have not read the latest 2 books published. I've seen a lot of controversy about how to actually count this as a series, because it is a main trilogy and then has 2 books that branch off of it. So I don't know if we're counting this as a 5-book series or a 3, and then like Brothers Hawthorne and I think the 5th book being like start of its own separate series. I'm going to count them as one and just umbrella them under the Inheritance games. So this year I want to read the other 2 so that I could finish all 5. And I don't know if she's publishing more, but if she does, I will also read those. But I love this series. I reread it all the time, and it's just such a comfort to me. I really could talk about it a lot, but honestly, just Jennifer Lynn Barnes is such a comfort author to me. And I know maybe saying a mystery series and a mystery author is a comfort is a little weird, but it's just the writing style. It just kind of feels like home. It just feels cozy in a way. Series number 11 is the Booktown Mystery Series. Now, I have read 8 of these books. There are 17 currently published. So I have some work to do, but I just love this series. It's a cozy mystery series where it's set on a little town where it's just a whole street filled of bookshops, and each one is themed. So there's a mystery bookshop, a cookbook shop, romance bookshop. Each one has its own genre, and we're following the owner of the mystery bookshop solve different murders that happen in the town. And in it we get amazing sister dynamics with her sister. We get to see her flirting a bit with the police chief. In the last book that I read, her ex-husband came back to town, and drama. It's a good time. It has a good mix of actual mystery and a good mix of banter and drama. And just like, by this point in the series, I've read 8 books. So by this point, I know a lot of the just in general town drama, which is really fun. And it's just a fun time. It's such a good book. It's just such a good series. I started reading it during 2020. So this is a series that I'm going to be reading for a long time, because 17 books is a lot, but it's a lot of fun, and I do recommend it. Number 12 is the one and only Andy Carpenter. Now, I am continuing the series. Let me count. I have read 11 Andy Carpenters. There are 30 currently published. 30. I'm not even halfway done. That is insane. I think if I finished reading all the ones I physically own, I will get over the halfway mark, because I think I have about 5 that I haven't read yet. But I talk about Andy Carpenter a lot. I love this series so much. Whenever I don't know what to read, I pick up a book in this series, and it just brings me back into wanting to read. They're really easy to fly through. There's a bigger mystery besides the small mystery that we're seeing in the courthouse, and it's just such a good book. David Roosevelt is such a good author, and I will just continue adding this series to my list each year as I continue reading, because it is just a series that I just feels like going home, if that makes sense. We're really flying through these. I'm proud of myself. I'm not yapping too much today. I feel like usually when I make any videos, I just spend way too long talking and not enough time actually saying anything important. Series number 13, A Year-Round Christmas Mystery. I have mixed feelings about this series. As of now, I am continuing it just because I think it's fun to read during December. There are currently 7 books, and I have read 2 of them. The first book I really enjoyed. The second book, I kind of enjoyed. It was like meh. It was not the worst thing I read during Christmas, and it was not the best thing. It kind of fell right in the middle. So I think my plan for this series is that this year I want to attempt the 3rd book, and if I don't enjoy that one as well, then it will be a DNF series. But as of now, I want to try to continue it because I am really intrigued and I'm enjoying the characters, if anything. So I want to give it one more shot before I DNF it. But right now I am excited to pick it up. The next one is set in the summer. It's a Christmas mystery set in the summer, so that's interesting. So I do want to read it in the summer, maybe June for my birthday I'll read it or something like that, but I am excited to give the third one a chance. I think that's fair. I'm not 100% sure if I want to read all 7 books, but I at least want to read the third one. Series number 14 is The Prison Healer, and this one was a surprise for me for where this ended up landing on this list. So after I originally finished it, I thought this was going to be a DNF series. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I realized that I really, really, really want to know what happens. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to continue the series and to learn more about these characters and learn more about this plot. So now it's a series that I'm going to be continuing, and I really hope to finish. It's a trilogy, and I've so far read the first book. I did just buy the second book, though. That was also in my Waterstones haul. I will, once again, link that somewhere. It went from being a series that I didn't really care about to one that I am just so excited to continue and to read. So, it really went complete 180 this year, but I'm so glad that it did. Series number 15 is TikTok's favorite series, Dream Harbor by Laurie Gilmore, which is a pen name, which is supposed to be a spoof on Gilmore Girls. This is a 5-book series, which I feel like it was only published maybe this year or maybe started in 2023. If anything, 5 books was published very, very quickly. I have read the first one. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I will be continuing the series. I do own the second book of the series, so I will be continuing it. My complaint with this book, and it is not that it was a TikTok favorite book, because I think BookTok is an absolutely amazing thing, and anything that gets people reading is a good thing. I have found a lot of favorites within books that were super hyped up on TikTok, so I do not have an issue with books being hyped up on TikTok at all. We will see what the new US BookTok is now that they're gonna ban it or whatever, but my issue was that this was promoted as a mystery romance, and the cover looked extremely cozy mystery. But as someone who reads a lot of mystery, I can tell you this was not a mystery book. In no way, shape, or form was this a mystery book. It was a romance book. It had a very tiny, tiny subplot that in some universe we could say was a mystery if it really got more fleshed out, but I don't think it really counts as a mystery if the person who did it just gets tired of doing everything and goes, sorry guys, it was me. I don't count that as a mystery. Like, you didn't solve. To me, a mystery is about solving the case, and you didn't solve it. He literally just came forward. So I have issues with that book. I did enjoy the romance and the town and all the people in it, so I do want to continue the series. We'll see how far I actually get into it. But now I know, expectation-wise, to not go into the next one expecting a mystery, because that's what I did with the first one. I really expected a mystery book, and then I got disappointed. So, categorizing it as a romance book, I was not disappointed. Categorizing it as a romance mystery, I was very disappointed. So, I am excited to continue the series, though. That's besides the point. Series 16 makes me sad. I am DNFing The Meg. I read the first one. It is one of my fiance's favorite books, and he gave me that book so I could read. And I read it so fast. I adored the first book. The Meg was absolutely brilliant. It's a great book. I have not seen the movie. That's a common theme, and it's probably going to become a common theme on this channel. I don't watch a lot of movies or TV shows, so if it's a really popular movie or a really popular TV show, I probably haven't seen it. But The Meg, the book, absolutely brilliant. I loved it so much. This is a 7-book series, and to be honest, I don't want to read 7 books about sharks. I enjoyed the first one. It was great. It was out of my comfort zone, and it's not something that I normally read. It was a sci-fi book, and it was just something that I don't normally read, but I really enjoyed it. But once again, this is a series that I am good to put down after the first book. I don't need 7 of them. That's just a personal thing. My fiance actually also only read, I believe, the first book. So I talked to him about this, and he agrees with my opinion that one is enough in my case. So I am content with that, but I don't want it to seem like I didn't love that book, because I really, really loved the first book. I don't want to read more of them. Series 17 I did not like. This series is getting DNF. This is the Graves Glen series. And I read the first one, which is the X-Hex, and it felt like the characters had no chemistry. And I gave that opinion on TikTok when I first read it, and I got very mixed reviews about people who felt that they had an amazing chemistry and so much chemistry versus people who agreed that there was nothing, the book had nothing. So either way, it just wasn't for me. There is an audience out there who absolutely loves it and saw something that I didn't see on those pages, and that's okay. Not every book is for everyone. There is 3 of that series, so I will not be reading 3 more. I will not be reading 2 more of that series. I'm glad that I tried it. It was a book of the month that I had. I did end up unhauling that book, so now it can go to a home of someone who will appreciate it, because it's not this home, unfortunately. Series 18 is The Empyrean. I will be continuing the series this year. I will be finishing this series this year. I have read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and I have loved both of them so much. I gave both of them 5 stars, and I do plan on doing a reread, hopefully within the next week or so. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be reading Onyx Storm on release date, just because I want to do a reread first, so I really just slide right into it with all of the knowledge still completely present in my head. I do remember majority of that series, but I just like to get those details right before a book as big as this is coming out. So I absolutely am finishing The Empyrean this year. It is just not going to be on the 21st. But that's okay. I have so much time to read it. I have the entire year ahead of me. It's only January, and it's going to be read very quickly, very soon. I'm not going to put that one off. I am so excited for it. I loved Fourth Wing so much. I picked up Fourth Wing randomly when I just saw it in a bookstore because I thought the cover was cool. And I read the back and it sounded amazing. I finished that and immediately went into Iron Flame. I didn't even know it was popular at that point, and then I saw it everywhere. It was popular already, I just didn't hear about it. I wasn't on that side of BookTube or anything yet. But as soon as I read it, I started seeing it everywhere, and I fell in love with that series. I cannot wait for the 3rd book to come out. I am so excited. Those were all 18 series that I read in 2024. I am so excited for what this year of reading has in store. I feel like I have so many amazing series on this list, and my goal is to have more than 2 finished series by the end of the year. I feel like that's a good starting point. In 2024, I finished 2 series, so in 2025, I just want to get more than that. And if I do, then I will call this a successful year. If you are still watching up until this point, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if you've read any of these series and what did you think. Maybe a lot of you are in anticipation for the release of Onyx Storm. Please keep the comments spoiler free for any of these series, just because you never know who's looking. And if there's a series that I mentioned that sounds cool, I would definitely check it out, because overall I enjoyed 90% of these series. I'm sure that I will be reading many from this list throughout 2025. I hope to be. I better be, because I need to finish some series. Please make sure to go follow Stacking Pages on Instagram, TikTok if you can, and just make sure to subscribe here to not miss out on any videos and on any book updates. I cannot wait to see you in the next video.